All right. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Morning from sunny and cold Benedicta, Maine, deep in the north woods of Maine. Clear today, cold, 8 degrees. 8. Gonna swell right up to 25 today. Oh, good news is the tire pressure in my right rear tire is holding, but this is the last day with those tires. We get new tires on the Jeep while we're gone. Got 60,000 miles out of a set of tires. That's pretty good. Ben Bryant, first one in. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah. 8 degrees. I might have to start thinking about throwing on a coat. Maybe a sweatshirt or something. No more shorts. How you guys doing? Ben, how are you? Thanks for joining me early. I was trying to figure this out because we're taking both Jeeps down south because I got to get the tires on and we got things going on. But I'm like, well, normally I would just do the live and let Wendy drive. Then we said, well, we'll stop halfway. I'll post up at a rest stop and, grab a coffee and do that. And I said, well, what if I just go an hour early this morning, get her done, and then hit the road? So that's what we do. So sometimes we have a little bit of flexibility here on the live. And, it's oddly enough, sometimes we'll get a few different people that'll pop on too because it's at a different time frame. So anyway, good to see you guys this morning. If you're here, pop in the chat. How you doing? And happy Saturday. And hope you guys having a great weekend so far and great end of the week. You had some wins, that kind of thing. Winding the coffee to me in good order this morning. Yeah, on the backside of a pot, coffee. It's good stuff. I've been drinking that Black Rifle. Black Rifle? Yeah, Black Rifle stuff. So I don't know. Just sounds cool. I'll drink that. It's all right. It's not too shabby. I'll drink about any kind of coffee. It doesn't really matter. So, but yeah, we got some things. It was a crazy week. It's been a kind of a roller coaster since we came up here because we hadn't really planned on finding a house quite that quickly. There wasn't a lot available, and anything you find up this way is probably going to need some work, which this one does. Good morning, Peter. So we found it, did the dance with the broker and all that, and made our offer. They countered, and so we countered with our final and best, and they took some time, and then they accepted it. So now we do the dance where we wait, and we had everything locked down on the finance side yesterday. So it is a full go for us, and so we're excited about it. So April 24th, the close on that, and I'll be back in the remodeling business, so to speak, because I'll be remodeling the house, which I'm excited about. I'm excited about. Wendy and I will work on it together. Spirit of 76 is my favorite. There you go. Yeah. Good to see you here, Tiana. Like I said, sometimes it's we go at a little bit different time frame, and some name will pop up where I haven't seen much of. So there's Steve Molan. Just took my first sip of coffee and turned on my phone. How fortuitous. Yeah. All right. Perfect. Yeah. Old guys rule, right, Steve? We're up early, baby. I've been up for hours. Like, what have you guys been doing? You're wasting. My friend Lee used to say, you've wasted half the forenoon. He's an early bird too. Do I know how? I know a guy, Pete. Maybe I get you and Larry to come up and just help me for, we probably have a blast. So I'm going to need a tractor, though. I got to have a tractor. It's an 800-foot driveway. So never been much for putting a plow on a truck. I just think it just kind of beats them up. But hey, Amanda, good to see you. Yeah, good morning. Welcome to Live 365. We have a good time. The chat is usually comedic at times. We have a good time. There's usually a bunch of characters in here that will be making comments and lifting each other up generally, but usually some good-natured barbs at one another. But we start the day with a good laugh and thinking about a little bit of business and personal development and just checking in with people and being a little bit of a touchstone here for some. So, yeah, Ben says, help him take care of the kid. 6 a.m. has been our up time. Yeah. Ben, there was a time when Bailey was little where I thought it was a pretty good day if nobody got puked on or had a bloody nose. So pass the ice cream. We're good. One more day in the bank, right? Dave Howard is here. Good Saturday morning to you, my friend. Yeah, a little bit early this morning, guys. And this will happen from time to time when we got travel or we got to pull up stakes and go somewhere. So this morning, traveling the 3 hours down to the greater Portland area, down to Wyndham. Drop my Jeep at the garage and have the tires put on at Black Bear Auto Care and scoot over to Rick and Sherry's and post up there. And we'll be flying out to Salt Lake City tomorrow morning. Monday morning, we meet up with Phil Kornichuk and about 9 or 10 other people, and we're headed out into the desert in Utah to do a leadership experience. So it's intentionally ambiguous, but I know we're hiking. I know we're paddling. I know we're doing some deep dive stuff on leadership, and I know we're doing some did I say paddling? Yeah, exactly. Rappelling into slot canyons. So that looked pretty cool. So we've always wanted to get out that way and do that. So so we're going to. So it's going to be great. So thanks, Amanda, Tiana. Yeah, those are good days. Yeah, Dave. Yeah, we miss you too during the week, bud. So let's talk to the boss and see if we can't get that schedule straightened out. Yeah, we miss you. You're a what do I want to say? Not a regular, but you're a staple. Wendy just said from the background, but I'm going to say legend. The live is nothing without Dave Howard. All right, we got to have Dave Howard in the mix. All right, it's not. Are you even living if you don't have Dave Howard in the mix? Right. Guys, this one today ties in with taking off and traveling a little bit, but we've been talking about a bunch of different things. I want to talk today about the approach is what I'm calling this one. Okay. A lot of this stuff ties back to leadership. And so much of it doesn't. And the theme lately has been a little bit leadership just because we're going to be working on that next week. So by the way, I hope to have a signal in the desert. I'm only going to be able to use my phone, so I won't be able to stream. So, hey, Steve, you might want to make sure you join us on Facebook probably Tuesday and Wednesday because the YouTube won't be live. So, but we will check the box. But anyway, guys, most leaders believe the climb starts when the pressure hits or the project launches, right? That's when everything starts, right? But in reality, the climb starts the moment you leave your comfort zone. It really does. That's when it really starts. So in hiking or mountaineering or whatever, it's called the approach. You're on approach. Maybe even in aeronautical terms too, right? It's the miles you cover before you ever touch the steep stuff. Okay. Good morning, Corey Nacetta. So today I want to show you how to handle your approach. All right, the transition phase. Okay, that determines whether or not you're actually going to reach the summit. See what I did there? All right. So core concept today: traveler versus tourist. Okay. Good morning, Josh Baker. Just keeps getting better. Maybe we'll switch to 7 a.m. West Coast people go, no. So traveler versus tourist. So we've got the passive tourist. Think about that. A tourist is, somebody that's a consumer of their environment, right? They look for comfort. They get distracted by sights, and they let the travel dictate their mood. Okay, if the Wi-Fi is slow or the coffee's cold, their leadership stalls, so to speak. Okay, the active traveler, okay, is a traveler. Is a student of their environment, right? They're looking around, they're studying what's going on. They use the transition to gain context. They remain in the mission, even when they're in the car or in the plane or in the hotel lobby. That's something that I have to work on because sometimes when I travel and I'm off work mode, right? And I could use to be a little bit more active in my thinking about it. Good morning, Kevin Hawthorne. Good to see you, buddy. So leadership lesson here is don't let a change in scenery lead to a change in standards. I'm going to say that again. Don't let a change in scenery lead to a change in standards. The standards remain the same. Your internal velocity, remember that from day 2? If you don't, it's posted on YouTube. You can check it out. Your internal velocity shouldn't drop just because your external environment is shifting, right? The same person, same goals, same dreams, same standards. Okay. All right. So we got to have an environment anchor. Okay. Thank you, Matt Moore. An environment anchor. Okay. So let's define that. When you're out of your element, and Matt, you were just traveling, so you probably can relate to this a little bit. You need one thing that doesn't change. And maybe it's that, you've seen people that travel say, hey, I got it done. I'm in the gym. I'm making it happen. It's an environment anchor. Could be your, 5-minute review of your day or your goals or what's happening. Maybe it's, journaling in a specific notebook or some non-negotiable physical habit. Hey, I move my body, or, hey, I sit with my gratitude journal or whatever it is, right? I think of Mark Bunker when I think of that. Mark sits every morning and does some of that stuff, which is great. So we get to define the anchor. Then we have the purpose, okay? The anchor tells your brain the location has changed, but the leader's still in charge, okay? Just because the scenery is different doesn't mean the standard is, okay? It prevents you from slipping into vacation mode, okay? When you should be in ascent mode. So I'm going to have both of these are going to collide for us, frankly, this week, because we're leaving here. We're going somewhere. It might feel like, hey, we're off on vacation. We're going to work. We're going to go do some deep work, some leadership stuff. Like I view this as like a huge reset for us. Sold the condo, moved north, a bunch of different stuff. Back at it hardcore with Summit and doing some, some more deep dive stuff there. A lot of stuff happening, right? You kind of hit the reset button a little bit and say, okay, buying a house. So deep breath. Let's make sure that with all of these environmental changes, standard stays the same. Okay. Then we've got what I call zero-based thinking. Okay. So using that travel time to ask, if I were starting my business from scratch today in this new location, without my usual resources, what's the most important move I could make? What's the most important move I can make? How do I stay true to my standards, my convictions, even though the environment's different? Okay. You've heard that the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step, but it's the direction of that step that determines the destination. And we just don't step blindly, right? Movement is not the same as progress. We can have movement with no real progress. The approach is about ensuring that your movement is directional. Every mile of the transition should be used to sharpen your focus for the challenge ahead. That's what I'm looking forward to as we head to Utah for this leadership experience with Phil Kornichuk and the team from Stonewater Training. Wendy, I don't know if you've got Phil's link, but maybe you could pop that in there. She likes it when I throw stuff at her like that. She's sitting about 6 feet from me. So she's doing a great job. Love you, babe. She goes, Oh, shoot. How about a little daily challenge? Like, let's call this the threshold decision. I want to give you a challenge for your next transition. Maybe you got a trip coming up. Maybe it's a weekend somewhere. Maybe it's sometime when you're going to kind of be away from work or away from what you're, like I call it world domination, whatever that mission is. How about identifying a physical threshold today, like a doorway or a state line or a check-in desk or something, right? Decide right now, when you cross that line, you're leaving the old version of your leadership behind. And maybe it's just going out the door today, right? Or maybe it's when you go out the door on Friday, okay? All right? You're not just moving your bodies, right? You're moving your mindsets. So cross that threshold as a leader. And as the leader, the summit requires you to be. So did that get that summit in there? See the coffee cup? Look at this. I do have a good time. Anyway, guys, the mountain doesn't care how comfortable your journey was. It's going to be there, right? It only cares that you showed up ready to climb. So check your approach. All right? For you guys that are new, and if you're watching it on the rewind, I'm Bob Turner. This is #Live365. We do it every single day, not Monday through Friday, every single day. Okay. I'll see you guys tomorrow with day 5. We're going to call that the threshold. We will be early tomorrow too, probably from my my office at the BK Lounge in the Portland Jetport. So it's just outside of Burger King by the monitors. As long as nobody's in my seat, I'll post up there. It's probably our flight's at 7. It'll be there at 5. Probably going to be somewhere around 6 a.m. tomorrow, between 5:30 and 6. So early Eastern. So, yeah, in order to reach the next level of my business and passing tasks off to my team, I had to become a better leader. Absolutely, Ben. Yeah. So just decide what are those things that you just kind of need to leave behind. Right now is a good time to do it because that threshold, that line for you could be Q2, Q1, right? We're wrapping up Q1 and in business, you think about it, like business is designed in quarters, right? Basketball games are quarters, all that stuff, sporting events, that stuff. Thanks, Amanda. I appreciate it. So it's just a good time to just hit the reset button. Hey, I came out of the blocks January 1st, guns a-blazing. What's gone well? What hasn't? What needs to come into Q2? What doesn't deserve to? What needs to stay? Cut the cord. Gone. All right. Wendy got the link in there for Stonewater training. Check out Phil Kornichuk and the team there. I'm excited about it. It's going to be a blast. Thanks, Dave. I appreciate it. And have a good time. Going down the highway this morning. Don't forget to check out Tyler Kirk's website. Guys, if you have a website, it's a little bit more complicated than, I just put my website up and I don't really know what it does. Okay. A website is a conversion tool. It should be working for you while you're sleeping. If it isn't, if you don't know what kind of leads it's providing, what kind of conversion, if people aren't filling out your info form, if you get on Google and you can't find you need Tyler. You need to have a conversation with him. Ask Pete Christensen. He's on here. Good morning, Jess Novak. Good to see you, kid. Loved your videos. Keep it up. Yeah. Don't forget April 7th and April 9th. Free training. And if you want to call it a webinar, you can. However, it's not going to be just me barking at you. It's going to be interactive. We're going to do some coaching. So bring your biggest constraint with your business. You don't have to be a contractor dude wearing a tool belt, okay? You might have a business. You might be leading your business. You might be a leader in a business. If you are, this can help you. So the link is in there. It's called the Accountability Gap. I think we had we hit 39 people total over the 2 days signed up already, okay? And we're just getting started. All right. So, guys, I appreciate you. I hope you have a great day today. Share this out with someone if you don't mind. If you get something out of it. I don't know if Wendy put the link in. I might have missed it. She probably did. But there's always a spot to click and head over to give me a Google review. If you've got something out of this, you say, hey, Bob, Bob does a great job in the morning. I get a lot out of it. Whatever it is. Hey, I've read his book, or hey, I worked with him one-on-one coaching wise. However I've impacted you, if in some way, if you'd be compelled to scratch out a review. We did had to kind of turn our taxes around more quickly than I typically do. And my regular dude was not available. So got a new guy and he went right to work for us and got it back to the mortgage person so we could do the house stuff, right? Long story. But it got done. And truth be told, I always procrastinate that, but who doesn't, right? Taxes suck. But anyway, this guy, John Stewart, he's down in Saco. He stepped up to the plate and he had stuff going. He was traveling. His daughter, he had a new granddaughter over the in the period of the time that he was trying to punch out my taxes. And I said, what I owe you, send him some money on Venmo. He's like, hey, if you have time, I'd love a Google review. Just that one little thing. How quickly do you think I ran to give that guy a 5-star review? Absolutely. Wrote a review, added a picture of the mountain up here. I said, hey, John's helped us get our finance stuff squared away, suitcased, and gave it exactly what the broker need. Because if you've ever tried to buy something when you're self-employed, it's a real treat. They needed your taxes from 1972. Not really, but it feels a little bit like you get shaken down. So they got what they needed. And thanks to John, we did that. So we'll pop his link into. It's a great guy. Really we don't have it today. Don't sweat it. We'll get it tomorrow. But great guy. But my point is, it took me about 2.5 minutes to give him a review. Okay. So if you haven't done that yet, I'd love it if you could. I'd love it if you could share it. And you don't have to put it on your page. If like, I don't want people to see Bob on my page. Send it to them in a DM. Send a link. Whatever. Let's get some more people here. We'll have some fun. Guys, thank you for showing up. I know it's early. We get it done. The box gets checked. I appreciate it. Hope the message lands with you. Remember, just because your environment changes doesn't mean your standards do. Okay. And you guys' environment changes all the time. All right. Stay on the path, stay on the approach, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care, guys. Appreciate it. Love you all. Have a great day and an even better weekend. We'll see you. Bye.